The massive alien ship appeared over New York without warning. Its dark metal hull blocked the morning sun, casting an ominous shadow over the city that never sleeps. On every screen across Earth, the same message played in perfect English. Primitive species of Sol 3, this is Lord Commander of the Galactic Empire. Your world is now part of our domain. Surrender peacefully, and you may serve as our subjects. Resist, and face destruction. You have one Earth day to decide. In the underground command center beneath the Rocky Mountains, Admiral James Stone watched the message repeat for the third time. His weathered face showed no fear, only quiet determination. Around him, the Earth Defense Council sat in silence, their eyes fixed on the massive screens showing the alien vessel. "Well," Stone said, standing up straight in his blue uniform, "I suppose we should answer them." He looked at the council members, men and women chosen from every major nation. They all nodded. The council had prepared for this day for 20 years. Since the day their deep space sensors first detected the Empire's expansion toward Earth's solar system, they had worked in secret, building defenses that the Empire couldn't imagine. Stone stepped up to the communication array. Behind him, General Roberts activated their global broadcast system. In every home, on every street, and even on the massive alien ship above New York, screens shifted to show Stone's stern face. "To the Galactic Empire," he began, his voice calm and clear. "I am Admiral James Stone of Earth's United Defense Force. We have a simple response to your demand." He paused, making sure his next words would have full effect. "Leave our solar system. This is not a surrender. This is a warning." The response came quickly. The alien ship's hologram filled the sky worldwide, showing a tall figure in ornate armor. The Empire's Lord Commander laughed, the sound echoing across every city. "You dare to threaten the Empire? We rule 10,000 worlds. Our fleets darken the skies of 100 systems. What can one primitive world do against our might?" Stone's reply was simple. "We can defend ourselves. Leave now or learn why humans are the only species that develop nuclear weapons before reaching space." The Lord Commander's laughter grew louder. "Your weapons are toys to us. Your defenses will fall. Your cities will burn. You had your chance for mercy." As the transmission cut off, Stone turned to the council. "They took the bait," he said. "They believe we're primitive and desperate." He pressed a button on the command table, bringing up a holographic display of Earth's solar system. Thousands of small dots appeared, hidden in asteroid belts, behind moons, and in deep space. "Begin Protocol Dawn," he ordered. Around the table, council members began sending coded messages to their hidden forces. "How long until their main fleet arrives?" Stone asked. Dr. Anna Thompson, their head of intelligence, checked her data. "Based on their standard tactics, they'll gather their invasion fleet for 3 days before attacking. They like to make a show of force." "Perfect," Stone nodded. "That gives our Ghost Fleet time to get into position." He looked at the tactical display again, watching as signals showed their hidden ships powering up. 20 years of preparation were about to pay off. In orbit, the Empire's ship continued broadcasting threats, unaware that hundreds of microscopic robots were already attaching to its hull, sending back detailed scans of its technology. Every threat they made was being analyzed, every movement tracked. "Send word to all commands," Stone ordered. "Execute their assigned roles. Remember, we let them think they're winning until they commit their main force." He walked to the window overlooking the underground base, where rows of advanced fighters stood ready. "They think we're primitive because we stayed in our solar system. They never asked why." The council members left to their stations, each knowing their part in humanity's carefully planned defense. Above them, the Empire's ship continued its display of power, completely unaware that it was already caught in humanity's web. As warning sirens began to sound across Earth, Stone allowed himself a small smile. The Empire was about to learn a hard lesson. Never mistake preparation for weakness. Earth was ready for war. 20 years earlier, in a hidden facility deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, humanity made the discovery that would change everything. Dr. Anna Thompson, then a young scientist, stared at her computer screen in disbelief. Her team had finally done it. They had cracked the secret of faster-than-light travel. But the celebration was cut short. Their deep space sensors picked up something disturbing. Massive energy signatures moving between the stars. Earth wasn't alone, and the aliens out there weren't peaceful explorers. "We could run," General Roberts had said during that first emergency meeting. "We have the technology now. We could establish colonies on distant worlds." Admiral Stone, then just a captain, stood up. "Or we could do something they'll never expect. We could stay and prepare." That decision shaped the next 2 decades of human history. While the Empire expanded across the galaxy, humanity worked in secret. They built their defenses inside asteroids, beneath oceans, and in the dark spaces between planets. Now, as the Empire's scout ship hung over New York, Dr. Thompson walked through their greatest achievement. The underground factory complex stretched for miles beneath the Antarctic ice. Thousands of workers moved between massive production lines where robots assembled pieces of advanced warships. "Status report," she called out, approaching the main control center. "Ghost Fleet is at 98% readiness," the operator replied. "All ships are equipped with the new dark matter cascade systems." Thompson nodded, remembering how they developed the technology. The Empire's ships use standard shields, designed to stop physical weapons and energy beams. But the dark matter cascade was different. It didn't try to break through shields. It changed the space around them. In another facility, beneath the Sahara Desert, General Roberts inspected their AI warfare systems. The Empire relied on vast fleets controlled by central commands. Humanity built something different. Swarms of small, independent ships, each with an AI that could think and adapt. "Run the simulation again," Roberts ordered. On the massive screen, a virtual battle played out. Empire ships, massive and powerful, fired their weapons at Earth's seemingly primitive defenses. Then the Ghost Fleet appeared, ships materializing from what looked like empty space. The Empire's mighty vessels never saw the real attack coming. Deep in the Rocky Mountain Command Center, Admiral Stone reviewed their intelligence reports. The Empire had conquered thousands of worlds, but they always followed the same pattern. First, they sent a scout ship to demand surrender. Then, they brought their main fleet to crush any resistance. They were predictable, and that would be their weakness. "Sir," a young officer called out, "the last Ghost Fleet squadron is in position. All ships report ready." Stone walked to the central display table. Holographic markers showed their forces hidden throughout the solar system. Some were concealed by advanced stealth systems, others hidden inside hollow asteroids. Many were disguised as space debris, watching and waiting. "Begin final preparations," he ordered. "Activate Protocol Dawn Phase 2. Across Earth, hidden defense systems powered up. In orbit, thousands of tiny satellites changed position slightly, forming an invisible web around the planet. Beneath the oceans, massive energy collectors began storing power for the coming battle. Dr. Thompson entered the command center, carrying her latest report. "The nanite swarms are ready," she announced. "The Empire's scout ship is already infected. We're receiving detailed scans of all their technology." "What have we learned?" Stone asked. "Their ships are powerful, but their tactics haven't changed in centuries. They've never needed to adapt." She smiled. "They have no idea what they're walking into." General Roberts joined them, his face serious. "All combat units report ready. The Empire's main fleet will arrive in 48 hours. Stone looked at the tactical display one last time. 20 years of preparation, all for this moment. The Empire thought they were facing a primitive species making desperate threats. Instead, they were walking into the most elaborate trap in human history. "Send the final code," Stone ordered. "All units confirm battle positions. Let's show them why they should have taken our warning seriously." As the commands went out, the three leaders watched their forces moving into final position. The Empire was about to learn that humanity's greatest strength wasn't in their weapons or technology. It was their ability to plan, prepare, and wait for the perfect moment to strike. The Empire's attack began at dawn. 500 massive warships dropped out of faster-than-light travel near Earth's moon. Their golden hulls gleamed in the sunlight as they moved into attack formation. On Earth's screens, the Lord Commander's face appeared again. "Your time is up. Watch as we destroy your pathetic moon base. Then you will understand the price of defying the Empire." Admiral Stone stood calmly in the command center, watching the enemy fleet approach the moon. Earth's lunar base was humanity's largest off-world facility. Its defensive shields were powered down, and its weapons remained silent. To the Empire, it looked defenseless. "Sir," General Roberts reported, "enemy fleet is taking the bait. They're moving into optimal position." Stone nodded. "Send the evacuation signal. Let them think we're running scared." On the moon's surface, hundreds of ships lifted off, fleeing from the base. The Empire's fleet let them escape. They were more interested in destroying the base itself. As planned, the retreating ships looked old and primitive. Exactly what the Empire expected from Earth. The Lord Commander laughed. "Look at them run. These humans are cowards after all." The Empire's ships moved closer to the moon base, their weapons powered up, massive energy cannons preparing to fire. The base remained silent, appearing abandoned. "Now," Stone ordered quietly. Inside the seemingly empty moon base, millions of tiny machines awakened. The nanite swarms that Dr. Thompson had designed began their work. They had been waiting in the base's walls, floors, and equipment, invisible to the Empire's scans. The first Empire ship to enter the base's airspace suddenly lost power. Then another, and another. The nanites were swarming through their hulls, studying and disabling their systems. "What is happening?" the Lord Commander demanded as reports of failing ships flooded in. "How are they doing this?" Stone pressed a button on his command console. Across the lunar surface, hidden weapon platforms emerged from the dust. They weren't the primitive projectile weapons the Empire expected. These were dark matter cascade generators, designed specifically to bypass Empire shields. "All units," Stone commanded, "execute Pattern Alpha." The generators fired. Invisible beams of altered spacetime struck the Empire ships. Their mighty shields, designed to stop energy and matter, were useless against weapons that changed the very fabric of space around them. Ships began breaking apart as localized gravity fields pulled them in different directions. "Impossible," the Lord Commander shouted. "These primitives can't have such weapons." Dr. Thompson watched from her station as data poured in from the nanite swarms. "Sir, we've collected complete scans of their technology. Their shields can't adapt to our attacks." The Empire fleet tried to regroup, but they were trained to fight conventional battles. This was something entirely new. Their massive ships, built for power and fear, were too slow to escape the invisible attacks. "Launch the Ghost Fleet squadrons," Stone ordered. From hiding places around the moon, Earth's real warships appeared. They were smaller than the Empire's vessels, but far more advanced. Their hulls seemed to bend light around them, making them hard to target. Each was controlled by an AI that could think and react faster than any organic crew. The battle was over in minutes. A third of the Empire's attack fleet was disabled by nanites. Another third was torn apart by the dark matter cascade weapons. The rest found themselves surrounded by Ghost Fleet ships that seemed to appear and disappear at will. "Lord Commander," Stone broadcast on all channels, "this was just our moon base. Would you like to see what defenses we have around Earth itself?" The remaining Empire ships retreated in chaos, jumping back to faster-than-light speed. They left behind their disabled vessels and their wounded pride. In the command center, General Roberts checked the battle reports. "0 casualties on our side, sir. The nanites collected more data than we expected. Dr. Thompson's team will need weeks to analyze it all." Stone looked at the tactical display, watching the Empire ships flee. "They'll be back," he said. "And next time they'll bring their full fleet. But now they know we're not helpless primitives." "Should we pursue them?" Roberts asked. "No," Stone smiled. "Let them run. Let them tell their leaders about their defeat. When they return with their main fleet, we'll be ready for Phase 2. The moon base, apparently destroyed in the battle, continued its silent work. Inside its hidden chambers, new weapons were already being built, based on the technology the nanites had stolen from the Empire's ships. The real war was just beginning. 3 days after the moon battle, Admiral Stone stood before the Earth Defense Council with a bold plan. "The Empire is gathering their main fleet," he explained, pointing to the holographic map showing enemy movements. "But they expect us to stay defensive. They think we'll hide behind Earth's shields. It's time to prove them wrong." The Ghost Fleet was already moving. 1,000 ships, invisible to Empire sensors, slipped through space toward the Empire's largest shipyard. The massive facility orbited a red giant star, building the warships that had conquered thousands of worlds. Dr. Thompson's voice came through the command center speakers. She was aboard the fleet's lead ship, the Shadow of Earth. "Admiral, the AI systems are tracking 5,000 Empire ships in defensive positions. They're expecting us to attack Earth, not their home systems." "Perfect," Stone replied. "Begin Operation Thunderstroke." The Ghost Fleet split into 3 groups. The first appeared suddenly near the Empire's outer defense line, looking like a desperate attack force. As planned, the Empire ships moved to crush these seemingly foolish humans. "Enemy fleet is responding," General Roberts reported from his command ship. "They're taking the bait, moving to Phase 2. The second group of Ghost Fleet ships emerged behind the Empire's defense line. But instead of attacking, they launched millions of tiny objects toward the shipyard. The Empire's scanners ignored these. They were too small to be weapons. They were wrong. Dr. Thompson activated her signal. The tiny objects were her latest creation, intelligent combat drones, each smaller than a human hand. They swarmed toward the shipyard, slipping through shields designed to stop large weapons. "What are these things?" an Empire commander shouted as the drones invaded their ships. "Our shields are useless." That's when the third group of Ghost Fleet ships appeared, right in the middle of the shipyard. These weren't warships. They were carrying special cargo. Human Marines in powered armor suits, each connected to an AI combat system. "All units, attack pattern Delta," Stone commanded. "Show them how humans fight." The battle erupted across space. Empire ships fired their massive weapons at targets that seemed to vanish before each shot. The Ghost Fleet moved like water, flowing around enemy attacks while their dark matter cascade weapons tore through the Empire's strongest shields. Inside the shipyard, the Marines were unstoppable. Their AI-enhanced suits let them react faster than any Empire soldier. They moved through the massive facility, planting quantum bombs at key points. "Sir," Dr. Thompson called, "Project Blackout is ready." Stone gave the order. "Execute." Across the shipyard, human AI systems invaded the Empire's computers. Doors slammed shut, trapping Empire troops. Defense systems turned against their own ships. The mighty Empire, which had ruled space for centuries, found itself fighting its own technology. "This is impossible," the Empire's shipyard commander broadcast. "How can primitives defeat our best defenses?" Stone's voice replied across all channels. "We tried to warn you. This is just the beginning." The quantum bombs detonated, but they didn't explode. Instead, they created fields of twisted space-time. Critical sections of the shipyard simply ceased to exist, pulled into microscopic space-time singularities. "All units, begin withdrawal," Stone ordered. "Let them see their mighty shipyard fall." The Ghost Fleet vanished as quickly as it had appeared, leaving chaos behind. The Empire's largest shipyard, which had stood for 500 years, was now a floating wreck. Half their defense fleet was disabled, their crews trapped inside ships controlled by human eye. Back in Earth's command center, the council watched the battle recordings. One member spoke up. "They'll be desperate now. They'll throw everything at us." "Good," Stone replied. "Because now they'll make mistakes. The Empire never learned how to lose, but humanity remembers what it's like to be the underdog. We know how to take a hit and strike back harder." Dr. Thompson's scan data showed the full extent of their victory. The Empire had lost not just ships and soldiers, but their aura of invincibility. Other species under Empire control were watching. They saw that the mighty Empire could bleed. "Prepare the next phase," Stone ordered. "The Empire thought this was a war of conquest. We're going to show them it's a revolution." The Ghost Fleet moved into position for their next strike, as reports came in of unrest spreading through Empire worlds. The real war was about to begin, and humanity was ready to lead it. The Empire's response was brutal and swift. Their supreme ruler, the Grand Emperor himself, emerged from his sacred palace for the first time in 50 years. His hologram appeared across every conquered world and every human screen. "Enough," his voice boomed. "You primitive humans think you can challenge us. Watch as I deploy our ultimate weapons. Your victory ends today." In Earth's command center, Admiral Stone watched as massive objects emerged from faster-than-light travel. Each was bigger than Earth's moon. The Empire's legendary planet killer stations. 5 planet killers detected. General Roberts reported, his voice tense. "They're moving into attack formation." Dr. Thompson rushed into the command room. "Sir, the stations are powering up their main weapons. Each one can crack a planet in half." Stone remained calm. "Execute Operation Steel Sky." Around Earth, thousands of tiny satellites activated. They had been hidden in plain sight, looking like space debris. Each contained a piece of humanity's most advanced technology, the quantum-linked defense network. The first planet killer fired. Its beam of pure energy, capable of destroying worlds, shot toward Earth. The Empire's leaders watched, expecting to see humanity's homeworld crack apart. Instead, the beam hit an invisible wall of twisted spacetime. The quantum-linked satellites created a web of interconnected fields, each supporting the others. The planet killer's beam scattered harmlessly into space. "Impossible." The Grand Emperor raged. "Fire all weapons. Destroy them." All 5 planet killers fired together. Their combined power had destroyed hundreds of worlds. But Earth stood untouched, protected by physics that the Empire didn't understand. "Now," Stone ordered, "show them our response." The Ghost Fleet appeared around the planet killers. But these ships were different. They had been upgraded with technology stolen from the Empire's shipyard. Dr. Thompson's nanites had learned every weakness in Empire engineering. "All ships, execute Pattern Omega," General Roberts commanded. The human ships fired their new weapons. Beams of dark energy struck the planet killers at exact points where their power systems connected. The massive stations began to go dark. "Their own technology," Dr. Thompson explained, watching the battle. "We learned how to turn their power systems against themselves." The Grand Emperor's hologram flickered as his mighty weapons failed. "This cannot be. We are the Empire. We cannot be defeated by primitives." That's when the second part of humanity's plan unfolded. Across Empire space, conquered species were receiving transmissions. The Ghost Fleet had broadcast proof that the Empire's greatest weapons could be beaten. "Sir," an officer called out, "we're receiving signals from 30 different Empire worlds. They're declaring independence." The planet killers, now powerless, drifted in space. The Empire fleet around them was in chaos. Some ships were retreating. Others were turning their weapons on each other as their crews chose sides. Stone opened a channel to the Grand Emperor. "You should have listened to our warning. Now watch as your empire crumbles." The Emperor's response was cut short as his own royal guard entered his chamber. The hologram showed confusion, then static, After centuries of iron rule, the Empire's leadership was facing rebellion from within. Report from the Ghost Fleet, General Roberts announced. 3 more Empire fleets have surrendered. Their crews are requesting asylum. Dr. Thompson's screen showed the bigger picture. The Empire's iron grip on the galaxy was breaking. Species that had been slaves for generations were rising up, using tactics they learned from watching Earth's resistance. Send the signal to all free worlds, Stone ordered. Tell them Earth stands ready to help defend their independence. The quantum defense network around Earth glowed softly, its power barely tested. The planet killers, the Empire's greatest weapons, hung dead in space. They would serve as monuments to the day when humanity proved that size and power weren't everything. Admiral, Dr. Thompson said quietly, the revolution has begun. But the Empire still controls thousands of worlds. They won't go down without a fight. Stone nodded. Good, because humanity is just getting started. Send word to the Ghost Fleet. Begin Phase 6. It's time to show the galaxy what freedom really means. As Earth's ships moved to protect the newly freed worlds, the Empire's remaining forces gathered for one final desperate attack. The greatest battle in galactic history was about to begin. A week after the planet killers failed, the galaxy erupted in rebellion. On the main screen in Earth's command center, Admiral Stone watched as hundreds of green dots appeared across the star map. Each represented another world rising against the Empire. The blue-wing aliens have broken free, General Roberts reported, pointing to a cluster of stars. They've captured 3 Empire warships and want to join our alliance. Dr. Thompson worked at her station, coordinating with the rebel forces. The Empire kept all their subject species separate, thinking they could never unite. That was their biggest mistake. The door burst open as an officer rushed in. Admiral, the rock creatures of Sigma 9 are attacking the Empire's largest fuel depot. They're requesting Ghost Fleet support. Stone studied the tactical display. The rock creatures had been slaves for centuries, forced to mine resources for the Empire. Now they were turning their mining machines into weapons. Send Ghost Squad 7 to assist, Stone ordered, and deploy the defense technology package. Show them how to protect their world. Across the galaxy, human ships appeared near rebelling worlds, delivering weapons and defense systems. Dr. Thompson's quantum-linked shields were modified to work for each species, protecting their planets from Empire revenge attacks. Message from the Star Swimmers, another officer called out. The Star Swimmers were massive beings who lived in gas giants. They've disabled Empire refineries in 12 systems. They're asking to join the Free Worlds Alliance. Stone smiled. The Star Swimmers had been watching Earth's resistance carefully. They learned that size didn't matter. Strategy and preparation did. Sir, General Roberts interrupted. Empire forces are gathering near their core worlds. Long-range scans show they're stripping defenses from their outer territories to build a final defense line. The Empire was falling back, abandoning systems they'd ruled for centuries. Their mighty fleets, once used to terrorize worlds, were now desperately trying to protect their central planets. Dr. Thompson looked up from her screens. The nanite data shows they're activating old weapon systems, things they haven't used in generations. They're scared. Good, Stone replied. Fear makes them predictable. Signal all free world forces. Begin Operation Avalanche. The Ghost Fleet moved into position around the Empire's defense line. But they weren't alone anymore. Ships from 20 different species joined them, each bringing unique abilities the Empire had never expected to face. The Blue Wings provided fighters that could navigate in strange ways, ignoring normal physics. The rock creatures brought mining ships modified with dark matter cascade weapons. The Star Swimmers used their natural ability to manipulate gas to disable Empire engines. Enemy fleet detected, General Roberts announced. 5,000 ships, their largest remaining force. Stone opened a channel to all Allied ships. Remember the plan. The Empire thinks they're fighting just humans. Show them they're fighting the whole galaxy. The battle began. Empire ships fired their weapons, expecting to face only Earth's Ghost Fleet. Instead, they met an alliance of species fighting together. Each race brought tactics the Empire had never seen before. Blue-wing fighters phased through Empire shields as if they weren't there. Rock creature ships drilled through capital ship hulls. Star swimmers created gas clouds that disrupted Empire targeting systems. Empire fleet is breaking formation, Dr. Thompson reported. Their battle doctrine doesn't account for multiple species working together. That was humanity's real victory. They hadn't just fought the Empire. They had shown every species how to fight back. Each rebel world added their own knowledge to the alliance, creating strategies the Empire couldn't counter. "Sir," an officer shouted, "the Empire's royal city is broadcasting. Their military council is demanding the Grand Emperor's surrender." The command center erupted in cheers. Stone raised his hand for quiet. "This isn't over. Signal all free world forces. Maintain battle positions. The Empire's leaders might fall, but their fleet commanders won't surrender easily." Dr. Thompson's screen showed more worlds declaring independence every minute. "The revolution can't be stopped now," she said. "But the real challenge comes next." Stone nodded. Building a free galaxy would be harder than destroying the Empire. But humanity had planned for that too. The final phase was about to begin. 3 months after the Great Battle, representatives from 500 former Empire worlds gathered on Earth. The United Nations building in New York, once dwarfed by a single Empire ship, now hosted the largest gathering of alien species in galactic history. Admiral Stone stood at the podium, looking at the diverse crowd. Blue-winged delegates floated gently in the air. Rock creatures sat in specially designed chairs. Star swimmers attended through holographic projections. All had fought together to end the Empire's reign. "The war is over," Stone announced. "The last Empire fleet surrendered yesterday at the Battle of Trinity Star. For the first time in 1,000 years, the galaxy is free." Dr. Thompson sat with the scientific delegation, surrounded by alien researchers. They were sharing technology, each species adding their knowledge to create something new. Her quantum-linked defense networks now protected hundreds of worlds, modified by each species to work with their unique abilities. "The hard part begins now," Stone continued. "Building peace is more difficult than winning war. But humanity learned something important in our short time among the stars. We learned that true strength comes from working together." General Roberts entered the hall, bringing the latest reports. The former Empire worlds were stabilizing. The Ghost Fleet, now joined by ships from 30 species, patrolled trade routes to prevent pirates and remnant Empire forces from causing trouble. "We propose the formation of the Galactic Defense Council," Stone said. "Not an empire ruling by force, but an alliance protecting all free worlds. Each species will have an equal voice." The alien delegates talked among themselves. They had expected Earth to try to replace the Empire, to become the new rulers of space. Instead, humanity was offering partnership. Furthermore, Stone continued, "Earth will share all our technology with Council members. The Ghost Fleet's stealth systems, the quantum defense networks, the dark matter cascade weapons, all will be available to protect free worlds." Dr. Thompson activated a holographic display showing the new defense plan. Ships from every species would work together, each adding their unique abilities to protect galactic peace. The Blue Wings phase technology, combined with rock creature mining skills, created unbeatable patrol ships. Star swimmer gas manipulation made stealth technology even better. The Empire fell because they thought strength meant standing alone, Stone explained. They kept species separate, fearing what would happen if we united. They were right to be afraid. A blue-winged delegate floated forward. "We fought beside humans. They could have conquered us after the Empire fell. Instead, they teach us to defend ourselves." A rock creature rumbled agreement. "Empire took. Humans share. We choose humans as friends." The Star Swimmer hologram glowed brightly. "Our calculations show this alliance has 98% chance of lasting peace. We support the Council. Stone looked at Dr. Thompson and General Roberts. 20 years ago, they had discovered they weren't alone in space. They could have hidden, could have built weapons to destroy any threat. Instead, they had prepared to free the galaxy. The Empire ignored our warning. Stone said, "They thought we were primitive because we hadn't spread across space. They never asked why we stayed in our solar system. Now they know. We were preparing not just to defend Earth, but to free every enslaved world." The hall erupted in cheers and alien sounds of approval. The Galactic Defense Council was born, with Earth as just one equal member among many. The Ghost Fleet became the Council's peacekeeping force, with crews from all species working together. Later that evening, Stone stood on the UN building's roof, watching the sunset. Above, ships from 100 worlds moved peacefully through Earth's sky. Dr. Thompson and General Roberts joined him. "Did you ever think it would end like this?" Thompson asked. "When we first detected the Empire." Stone smiled. "We gave them a choice. Leave us in peace or face the consequences. They chose war, but we chose to make friends instead of conquering." As darkness fell, the stars became visible, but they weren't distant and threatening anymore. Each one represented not an enemy to fear, but an ally to protect. The Empire had ignored humanity's warning. In doing so, they had freed the galaxy.